Today we're going to work on making a textured font in Illustrator. So we'll get started by opening up Adobe Illustrator, and we're going to create a new document. And I'm going to leave it at a letter-sized piece of paper. I only need one artboard for this. An artboard is basically a page, and if you were working on something that you needed several different versions of, you could have several artboards, but we're just going to do one today and create. Okay, so first off, let's make some text. So you're going to go to your text tool and just click, and we're going to type something. And let's make this a nice bold font that we can see. Now you can hold down your Shift key and drag the edge, and that'll keep it in proportion as you make it big. And this is apparently a preview font. It doesn't have the exclamation point, so we're just going to delete that. Okay, so now we have our font. You could make this a color if you wanted to. Just go to your swatches palette, make it whatever you want. And now the next part is to get a texture in here. So I have a gritty texture made. I've got it saved in my Lucy drive, but it'll also be on Jackie. If you open Jackie and you go to stock photos, it will be under textures and backgrounds. And gritty texture is what I have named it. Okay, so here it is. Now this is an Illustrator document, so if you zoom in, you will see that each of these little bits are actually, somebody drew these. Okay, let me zoom back out. You can do Command 0 to zoom back out full. There are actually 2 layers here of grit, so if you want your font to just have a little bit of texture, you could just use one, or if you want it to be super textured, we can use both of them. I want a lot of texture, so I'm just going to highlight both of them by dragging here, and I'm going to Command C to copy. I'm going to go back over to my document that I started. I'm going to do Command V to paste. And then I'm going to hold my Shift key and stretch this out to get it big enough to cover all of my word. Okay? Now at this point, I'm actually going to take this texture and use it to punch out my letters. So I want to make sure that it is not the same color as the letters. So let's make it just, it's default to a purple. Let's make it this bright yellow. That way we have a real difference, and also so we can see here kind of what the texture is going to look like on our letters. All right, so now this is the point where we actually are going to have to outline the letters. When we do that, these will no longer be editable. You won't be able to change the font. You won't be able to change the word to something different. It will turn into a graphic. So make sure that your word says what you want it to say, and is size doesn't matter. We can change size, but that you're not going to want to change the font or anything. Okay, so we'll draw a marquee around it to just select all of this, and you're going to go up to Object and click Expand. And we want to expand the object and the fill, and click OK. And that is pretty much the same thing as going to type and create outlines, which is grayed out right now. The only difference is that it will take the font and outline it. It will take anything that is a stroke and convert it to a drawn image. And basically it just explodes everything. All right, so everything is expanded. Now we need to go to our Pathfinder. That's this right here. Now if this does not show up in your toolbar, you can go up to Window and Pathfinder, and it will open it up for you. Okay, now we need to divide, and that is this button. You're going to click it, and you're not really going to see anything happen except for it dividing. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to take the yellow bits and the red bits and separate them from each other. And when that happens, it groups the whole thing together. So we now are going to right-click and ungroup. So now I could come in here and click, and it's just going to select that weensy bitsy piece of yellow. So basically now I want to delete the yellow out and just leave my nice punched out words. So I've selected one bit of yellow. Let's go up here to select, same, fill color. Because I want it to pick all those bits of yellow, I don't want to have to do it manually. So at this point, you can just hit the delete button on your keyboard, and it deleted all of the yellow. And now our word, which I'm going to select all this and group it, right click and group, is all one piece now. See? If you zoom in, it punched all those little bits of yellow out of the red, and now we have the textured font. So from this point, you could continue your design in Illustrator, or if you're working in InDesign, you can literally copy this and paste it into your InDesign document. You wouldn't be able to do this textured effect in InDesign. You have to do it in Illustrator, but this is a good way to then be able to just copy and paste it into InDesign and go on with the rest of what you're working on. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks.